So Josh, hello.
Hi.
Talking for a third time about one of your exhibitions, Xavier Hufkens.
Right.
It is in this part of the exhibition, which is only paintings and new paintings. When I first saw them in image on PDF, they immediately connected to joy, happiness, even exuberance. And after that, I looked at the title and I realized they were confirmation of that. Flame of pleasure, spiritual growth, about love, about spring. But I was wondering, the title made me think a little bit, is that ironic, an ironic take on bringing such joyful work and putting a distance with this joy and exuberance? Or is it a full embrace of?
Sometimes my work comes, the genesis of my work is a little bit ironic, like with the name paintings or the palette paintings, or even the original abstract paintings, which were from 2006 or 7. But there's no irony in these. My goal is always to make something I don't understand and don't like, but that I want to keep. You know, I want to keep it. And I didn't want it to illustrate depression. Oftentimes my painting illustrates my own depression. And I just came from the art museum in Brussels. The whole museum is illustrations of depression through hundreds of years. And I was like, now's not a good time to be like that. And I honestly don't feel like that. I feel better than I felt in years. And there's no secrets in my art. You can see the brushstrokes. You can see it's a person, you know, playing with form, and you know, you need parts of the painting that don't make sense. Every painting has to have a broken element. Like nothing can be perfect. Like if there's too much flow, you have to disrupt the flow. The way I go through life is part of my brain is working. Like I work every day, I work all the time. All I think about is how I can make something better. It's a lifestyle, and I hope it reflects within this show.
I always thought your work had a lot of vitality. I mean, since the beginning, I liked that there was a vital energy running through how you painted and how you addressed your subject. So in that sense, even if you feel there was depression, the work was not complacent with the darkness. It was always looking towards life. Oh, that's what...
The first show here was Fish, which was kind of a celebration of life. The second show was more of an experiment. Like, I wanted to kind of bring some humor into a darker subject. And this show is more of an ebullient expression of me trying to become a more positive person. And I'm anxious to share that with people who I care about.
Over the COVID period, you produced a number of paintings that were of houses and street views. I think that you could see from where you lived. The streets were really closed in a way, and here you've totally opened up. Is that also something you felt you wanted to do, to have a kind of free space without the structure? I mean, the houses were really structured, or no?
I mean, here I'm putting it on tape. The pandemic was the best thing that ever happened to me, because all the people who I don't like went inside, and I was able to be outside for the first time in my life. I had like 3 weeks where I could walk over any bridge, no car, the whole city was clean, all the birds came back, there were no decisions there. It was just, I went back to my studio and I didn't even think about painting. I just painted those gleefully. I haven't felt like that in a long time. And these types of paintings definitely grow out of that freedom. I'm gonna go with that as long as I can. At some point, something will piss me off or I'll break a little bit and it'll change. But I'm illustrating my soul. So I'm old now. It's just the way it's gone. Fuck it.
In the other space, you're showing monotypes, and again, as it happens today, I saw them first as a PDF, and I thought, oh, here are monotypes from different periods of Josh's career. So I thought the monotypes were done over 10 years.
No, 2.5 years.
And then when they were in the gallery, I realized they were done, quite recently and over a period of, as you say, 2 or 3 years.
Yeah.
And that you were experimenting a lot with, it's hard to explain, but I think with the surface, it becomes shimmery with silvers and the colors that stay on the surface, extremely bright.
I'm very familiar with paper and pressure and paper. I was raised around that. I understand that, and it applies to my painting a lot too. It's part of my process of quality control. A lot of what I do is quality control, and maybe a question is about seriality. That's so I can create a system of checks and balances, because when I see a problem with one painting, I can either learn to like it, say like, that painting's broken, how can I capitalize on that? It's like a writer might write multiple drafts of a short story, and some things are good and some things, and I don't know how it works, but there's something I really want to say about.
Is it because you discovered a new way of doing monotype, or a new paper for the monotypes?
I'm always learning about that, and when I do the monotypes, which are really like paintings, I do a painting, and then we put a lot of pressure on it, a lot. And then it comes off, and then I paint more, and then it comes off. But the question is about the paper. There's a paper that I like to use called Plike, P-L-I-K-E, which stands for plastic-like. It feels like plastic, and it takes a long time to dry because the ink sits on top of the paper, but it reads like a painting. I view those two things as, it's close to my studio. I ride my bike over there.
But you revisited quite a lot of things.
Yeah,
there are fish, devils, turtles.
It's boy stuff. I'm there to have fun and learn and talk to stuff. I'm not Thomas Edison. I can't just invent stuff forever. I could, but I don't want to be that guy. I really just like learning. I like making mistakes. A lot of artists try so hard. The first goal of being an artist is just don't try, just work. Don't try, just work. And don't buy expensive materials until you're sure you don't know what you're doing.
I think yesterday we were looking at the monotypes. We were talking about Jasper Jones, about artists for who printmaking is really central to the work. And you told me something about artists from the South that I really liked. I could not repeat. You coming from Tennessee.
I know Southern artists are strange because they hide from it, but in the sophisticated New York art world, everyone's always trying to cut all the sentimentality out of their work. And I try to do the same thing just to be cool, but the reality is you can't keep it out. It's there. And here, I wanted to express a bright, open-ended situation, and the titles, they're nebulous titles. They're not precise, but they're like little poems. Someone sees that and they go outside, they see the flowers, and I don't want people to come in here leaving worse than they did when they came in. But I'm very fortunate to have allies that help me share the way I communicate, which is through art. A lot of my confidence comes from being an artist. I've nurtured this lifestyle since I was a kid. I've fought against people who, like college teachers, like professional people, who've told me over and over again that I'm a stupid piece of shit. And I love that. That's just gas in the tank. Bring it on. Tell me when I start to get negative.
Just like with